Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Erin, and today we're doing update number 4 for my 2023 rolling 10 pan. So this is my main long haul project for the year, and basically what I'm doing is I'm rolling in 10 items at a time, and I am using them up to completion. That's why I'm kind of calling it more of a long haul type of project. So I am not necessarily going to go in any order. Maybe I'll just go in the order that they're on my spreadsheet. Actually, let's do rollouts first. I know last update, which I'll link up in the cards above, last update, I had rolled in a lot of extra products and anticipating on using a lot of things up. So I'll go ahead and I'll show you my exciting empties. I do have coffee today. This is in the Charlotte, South Carolina mug from the Starbucks Traveling Collection. So let me go ahead and get a sip of coffee on this very rainy day, and then I'll show you my empties. So the first item that I used up in April was actually my Becca highlighter. And so we will see a nice shiny pan in there. And I think I had said earlier on that this was actually a different mini repressed into this compact. So this was a compact of a highlighter that I used up last year. So this is the actual packaging of the Becca Champagne Pop that I used up this year. So this was one of the very tiny pans, and I hated working out of this small pan, so I repressed it into something bigger. But this is the actual, was this like 100-point perk, or this came in some sort of sampler bag from Sephora years ago? But this is the actual packaging, and so again, clean that out, nice shiny pan. There was a total of 1.15 grams in this. Let me look at my numbers for my usages. So last month we were at 17.99. The empty packaging is 17.87. I used up 0.12 grams in 8 uses. And I do have my Project Pan book right here. Let me see. So I had 20 usages on this product last year. I had it in another Project Pan where I just hit pan on it. So it took me 20 uses last year to hit pan and 95 uses overall to use up the entire product. And so I know, I forget if it was, I think it was in my 23 and 2023 or my plan to pan that I actually showed how I track everything in my Project Pan notebook. If you guys would like an update or to kind of see how I'm checking things off, I might put that at the end of this video. Stay tuned. I might put like a 2-minute clip at the end of the video just showing you guys the inside of my journal and how I'm tracking everything. But let's go on to the next empty. The next product that I used up in April is the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Primer. I did go ahead and I cut this open and dug everything out. I did actually get another 8 uses on it by cutting it open. So let's see here. For our weights, last month we were at 22.64. The empty packaging is 16.99. I did end up using it 13 more times to use it up completely, and I had a total usage of 5.65 grams in those 13 uses. And let me look and see. It was 65 total uses to use up this primer, which is very much on par. Typically, I get anywhere from the 65 to the 67 usages. I do use 2 pumps of this for every application. And again, digging everything else out of the packaging gave me another 5, 6, 7, 8 usages on this. So I saw there was a post on e.l.f.'s Instagram, and they said that if the post got 200,000 likes, that they would bring back this primer. And I need to go back and see if we hit that goal. Of course, I smashed that heart button so quickly because I would love for them to bring this back. There's just something about this primer that is so special. And again, I love the way it smells. I do have one more of these in my collection to go through, but I'm happy to be able to roll another one of these out. The next item that I ended up using up is my ColourPop Lippy Pencil in Little One. And so this is how tiny they get. Let me do in relation to the cap. That is how small these get. So we were at 3.38 grams last month. This empty packaging is 2.71 grams. I used it for 10 different days for application, and I ended up with 0.67 grams used. Now, that was quite a bit, but I had shown you guys that mine was already like coming out, and so once I got down to a certain place, you know, the product just fell out, so I lost a lot of product. So that kind of accounted for a larger weight difference for less usages. But overall, I'm thrilled to get this out of my collection. And again, I looked back and I started tracking this, or let me actually scroll in my sheets because I keep thinking about how long this dang lip liner. So my last lip liner I used up in July 20th of last year. So that means July 21st is when I rolled in ColourPop's little one. So it took me from the middle of July last year till the middle of April to use that up. So again, I will say for the 100th time, best bang for your buck with lip liners. Those things last forever. And the last rollout that I have this month is my powder. And so did I put the sifter back in here? I did not. So I took the sifter out and got everything out of here. This was a mix of my Too Faced Peach Perfect and an e.l.f. Halo Glow. And so I have another one of these that I'm going through right now, but I'm excited to have the first loose powder out of my collection. So those were my 4 rollouts, and if you're sitting there scratching your head saying, Erin, I thought you said you were going to have 5 rollouts. Well, I did too. Apparently, I was completely ambitious, and it doesn't help that I got sick in April, and so I missed a couple days usages on some products. And so I'll go ahead and I'll show this one now. This was the product that I thought that I was going to have rolled out also, and that is my Becca bronzer. This is the Sunlit bronzer in Bali Sands. I thought I was going to have this done. I was so sure of myself, but I did repress it, and so it's going to look a little bit different, but this is what we're looking like right now. And I'll have some B-roll coming up to where you guys can see the differences. But I did repress everything into the center. It was getting annoying to kind of like swirl my brush around the edges, and it's really thin up here because that's mainly where my brush goes. But I anticipate maybe another week's worth of work on this, and then I'll have this rolled out. So last month we were at 57.3. I did use this 23 times this month, and I used up 2.66 grams worth of product. So again, I don't see it taking me very long at all to use up the rest of this product. And because this one wasn't done yet, my other bronzer that I rolled in, which is my like just Franken one, I didn't touch this. So this has no differences because I wasn't going to start using this until I was done with the Becca one. So this one looks exactly the same. So we got bronzers out of the way. Now I can just run down my list of products. So the progress pictures, we have the MAC paint pot. And last month I did have pan on it, and so I've just been working to expand that pan. I also am wearing down the sides because really I stick my finger in there and I kind of rub up the side to get some on my finger. I keep having to cut my nails short to be able to use this product because I don't like using this with a brush. We were at 51.86 last month. We're at 51.49. I did use this 23 times in April for a difference of 0.37. Again, this is my long haul item. I'm anticipating this being done around November. This might be some exciting updates, but this is my lipstick that I'm focusing on. This is the ColourPop Velvet Blur Lipstick in Virgo Moon, and I'll go ahead and I'll show you where we're at. So very small little nub here, and of course I'll have all my pictures coming up with my comparisons. And so I really did work hard on getting a lot of this product done this month, even though My usage was a lot less than last month, but I felt like I focused on this. But while I was sick, I did not apply lip products that I couldn't sanitize. So a lot of my products that I've been working on, I just completely stopped using them for like a week, and I was just using chapstick. And so I think I missed out on quite a bit of usage on this because I was sick. But let's see here. We were at 30.24 grams last month. We're at 29.87. So I used up 0.37 grams of this lipstick. And I'm anticipating, am I going to be over ambitious again? I think 2 more months and we'll be able to roll this out. I do have another lipstick in mind that I would want to roll into this project and see how much I can get usage on it for the rest of the year. But if I can finish a lipstick in the first half of the year, that'll be super exciting. Next, we have the Bobbi Brown corrector, and I did clean this up a little bit so that you guys could see the nice shiny pan at the bottom. So we are just expanding the pan on this. I only use this on the very inner corners of my eyes, so I don't get a whole lot of usage on it, but overall, I'm really enjoying it. I'm getting a little annoyed with running my finger around the outside of the product, so I might melt this down and fill the pan back up and level it out again. I don't know how this product is going to react to heat, but I'm curious about that, so I might try that. But overall, still getting steady progress on this. I love this product. I actually repurchased it, which stay tuned for my buys and buys. I'll link my playlist up top because my video won't be up for another week or so. But I did go ahead and get a replacement for this, so be on the lookout for that video. For my weights on this, 13.89 last month, 13.73 this month. I used it 22 times for a usage of 0.17 grams. Another item that I did repress is the Tarte blush in Party. And so my goal is to use this blush at least 10 times each month. I did do that, and I used this blush 11 times, and this is what we're looking like. So again, different because I did repress it. But overall, I'm thinning down this area in the middle. Apparently, I've gotten really good at repressing because this is not pressed loosely at all. Apparently, I've gotten too good at repressing. But again, I love this blush. I can scrub into it, which I know one of you down in the comments asked about me doing like a get ready with me, and I was thinking about doing a makeup application or a full face of Project Pan so you guys can see how I utilize these products and how I put them on my face. So I'm going to be filming that in the upcoming weeks, and I'll kind of have that out as a bonus video between some of my projects. But overall, I am still loving this blush. We were at 17.99 last month. Again, I used it 11 times. We're at 17.74 for usage of 0.25, which actually is kind of good because that means that I didn't lose a whole lot of product whenever I repressed it. So again, maybe I'm just getting really good at repressing. So I'm a little bit of a klutz, and I did knock this over prior to filming, like literally 30 seconds before I turned on the camera. I knocked this over, but I was able to take pictures and also put the mark on this one before I knocked it over. But this is the NARS Complete Matte Foundation. I wear it in light 2.5 Yukon, and here's our marks. So we started up here because I rolled this in March. Yes, I rolled this in March. That line, our second line, is April 1st, and then this is our line here at the end of the month. So I am happy with that much of a jump. Again, the tube gets fatter as it goes down, so I think our lines are going to get kind of closer together as we go. But with this one, we were at 75.97 at the beginning of the month. We are now at 69.06. I did use this 23 times, and I used up 7.91 grams of product. Here's my replacement for the e.l.f. Dewy Pop Primer, and that is the e.l.f. Power Grip. my air bubbles are moving in there. But we can see the tube is getting skinnier. This is one of those like airless tube packaging. And so I feel like this is okay. I still like the dewy one better now, being able to just compare them like basically side by side. This isn't bad, but I would prefer if they brought the Dewy Pop one back. But we started at 39.99 grams at roll-in, and I used this primer 13 times, and now we're at 33.72. So I used 6.27 grams. And I had mentioned in my previous video that because this does not have a full fluid ounce in it, this will end up going a lot quicker than the Dewy Primers. Like I said, the Dewy Primers, I usually got 65 to 67 usages on them. With this one, I'm going to guess probably 50. So this, we're only at 13 uses. So this will probably be another 2 months before we're rolling this out. But overall, I'm enjoying it. If they didn't bring back the dewy one, I would repurchase this one, maybe the one with niacinamide, but I'm enjoying being able to use it. Next, we have my Tarte highlighting palette, and when I finished the Becca Champagne Pop, I did go ahead and start using the shades in here. I'm always trying to not blind you guys with this palette, but this is what we're looking like here. And mainly, I think I told you guys that I was working on these two shades down here. These are my repressed shades and also my Fenty highlight, the Mean Money and Hustler Baby. They are repressed into these down here. So I did end up using this palette 14 times. In April, we started at 120.97 grams. We're now at 120.54, so a difference of 0.43, so almost half a gram of usage. My kind of tentative goal right now is to hit pan on this shade here, which this is just the repressed, like more intense shade from the Fenty highlight. So this isn't mixed with anything, it's just repressed. So I want to hit pan in this one. That is my like ultimate goal right now. But I think that this palette will be in this project for the rest of the year, and this will be my main focus for highlight. So after I finished the ColourPop lip liner in Little One, I did go ahead and I started using the next oldest ColourPop lip liner in my collection, and this is in the shade Another Round. I did go ahead and I measured my empty lip liner up against here, so this is the line that we're working towards. And so I'll have my comparisons pop up on the screen, but we rolled this in and started with 7.23 grams. We're now at 6.92 grams. I used this every time that I did makeup, so I did makeup somewhere between 22 to 23 times, and I used up 0.31 grams of this. And so this one too, the product has separated and it's starting to come out. And so I just make sure to push it down in there. But this is what we're looking like. Overall, I would love to be able to use this up by the end of the year, but I don't know if, 7.5 months worth of use is going to get me there, but we are sure going to try. So with anticipating the bronzer rolling out, I did need to add another product to the project. And so what I decided to do is I ended up getting the Billion Dollar Brows Universal Brow Pencil in a FabFitFun last year. And my holy grail pencil is in the ABH Perfect Brow, the one that you sharpen, which also, shameless plug again, watch my buys and buys coming up because I finished an eyebrow pencil. And so you'll get to see the little tiny nub that it becomes. But after I realized that one ABH pencil will last me 8 months, I stopped buying mechanical brow pencils. But this is in my collection. It came through a subscription box, so I do want to use this up. This is what I have in my brows today, and this is how much we have left. On my little sheet popping up, you'll see that I did measure it at the beginning of April when I rolled it in and started using it. So at least that's all the progress that I've been able to get on this in April. So I only suspect that this pencil will last me another month or two. And so again, having a brow pencil that only lasts 2.5, 3 months versus a brow pencil that lasts 8 months, to me it's a no-brainer. But overall, we're starting with 6.55 grams of this product, and we're going to go ahead and have the goal to use this up. So that was all of my progress and rollouts and roll-ins for my rolling 10 pan. Now at the end of this video, we always do the Pan That palette update. Now I know last update I let you guys know that I took a shade from this palette and a shade from my Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes, and I mixed them together and I created a hairline powder, which goodness I needed today because my grays and my roots are growing out. But I did want to give you guys a little bit of an update and let you know that I did hit pan in my, I keep wanting to call it a brow powder. Like that is what keeps popping in my head. My hairline powder. I did hit pan. So of course I have a long way to go because there is a lot of product in here, and so I'm going to just keep chipping away at this and using this to fill in my hairline and fill in my part. Because again, I do have more like ashy blonde hair naturally, so going this deep is a big change from my natural color that grows out. But overall, it's working perfectly. I love it. I love utilizing it for that purpose. But the other exciting thing, so I guess I could say we have 3 new pans in my Pan That palette. So let me do my quad. And so I have been pulling 4 shades out and putting them in this little Makeup Geek palette, and this has kind of been my focus quad for the month. And so you guys can see I hit pan on the lid setting shade here. Now the other shades, what I'm doing is once I hit pan on them, I'm rolling them back into the palette. But with this one, I use this every single day to set down my eyeshadow primer. So I'm just going to use this one up to completion. This one up here is the next shade that has been in the longest, and it's one of the regular ColourPop mattes. So it is tightly pressed, nice and pigmented, and this thing is not going anywhere anytime soon. But I've made a wonderful dip in that shade. I would anticipate maybe another month's worth of use. I pretty much use this on my lower lash line every day. I kind of love this type of shade to just tie in looks and kind of add that pop of a little bit of a warm tone underneath my eyes. It makes my blue eyes pop also. So I'm really enjoying this shade. I recently rolled in this one. I'm going to start using this as an inner corner highlight, and so that one, again, will probably have pan on it relatively soon. And this one here, this is the only palette I took with me when I traveled for work this month, and so I did get quite a bit of use on this one, but I also have a pretty good dip going in this shade up here also. But you might say that palette looks a little bit different than how it did last month, and you'd be right because I also hit pan in this shade right here. So this is the shade BS, and so I did hit pan in that one. Now this one is one of the mattes with glitter in it, so it was very loosely packed. Anytime that I would dip my brush in there, a bunch of kick up would happen. So it's not surprising that that one hit pan a lot quicker, but that means that I currently have, counting the one pan I have in the lid setting shade, I have 5 pans in this palette. I don't know how I'm going to treat this shade here, which is what I mixed in for my hair powder. I think we're just going to call it how it is for that one. But as far as being able to actually use the shades on my eyes, I've been able to hit 5 pans in the first 4 months of the year. So that is very exciting. I kind of love having it where I kind of have the curated quad that I'm using. And so I'm very excited about getting more use out of this and seeing more pans in this palette coming up. So I think I'm going to put in a little bit of footage of what my panning journal looks like, but if you're not interested in that and you want to go now, I completely understand. I totally geek out over these spreadsheets and my bullet journal, but I know not everybody does. So if this is you signing off, then thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy all the progress I'm making on my products this year. I am so excited about continuing to use up products in my collection and not letting them go bad. I am being so conscious about what is coming into my collection, and it's because I know how long it takes for these things to be used up. I thank you. I hope that you do all the things. Subscribe, like, leave me a comment. Leave me something down below if you would like a particular type of video or eye look, or if you would like me to use a particular eyeshadow palette in my collection. Let me know what you want to see from me, and I will be happy to film it. But if you don't want to see me geek out over my bullet journal, I'll say bye to you now. Bye. The rest of you, stick around. All right, guys, so we have my panning journal here. It is just a small little bullet journal that I picked up from like Michael's. It came in a pack of 3, but this is what the changes look like. So during my plan to pan, we did look at filling out all of these different products. And so anytime that I do finish one up, I outline it in highlighter. I write my finish dates. Like on this one here, which was the champagne pop, I did write how many total usage, the day it was done, and the weight at empty. My little marks up here, so this is any usage that I had last year. This just lets me know to add 20 to my total tallies. And of course, my different color tallies are my different months. So we had January, February, March, and then April. And so definitely lots of things getting finished up, lots of things being outlined in highlighter. And so these are all things that I am working on right now as well. My things that are deck of panning, I do put my DOP over here just so I know that I am marking them for updates and my weights correlate with a different day of the month. And then, of course, these are my items that I am measuring as far as the length of things. And so definitely you guys can see the amazing progress right here on this lipstick. And then this is where I'm starting off with the Billion Dollar Brow product. This was my progress on Little One. Here's my progress on Another Round. And so this is my tracking page for my blushes. And so you'll see my different color markings. And so you'll see my 2 blushes that I am definitely focusing on to use up this year. It's kind of a shame that there's some blushes that don't have any marks on them that I haven't even used yet this year. But I am very happy to be tracking things in this bullet journal. Hopefully this might help you guys organize your projects a little bit better, but this is really what has been working well for me. Now let's go back to the outro. For anybody who stuck around and looked at my panning journal with me and geeked out with me, I appreciate all of you. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys in my next one.